What are the aquatic plants? The plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants, which grow in water. Aquatic plants may grow in salty water or fresh water. Salt water means the waters of the oceans and seas. Fresh water means the waters of the lakes, ponds, rivers and streams. Aquatic plants are of mainly four types. What are the four different kinds of the aquatic plant? There are mainly four types of the aquatic plants. First is the floating plant, second is the fixed plant, third is the underwater plant, and the fourth is the emergent plant. Now we will discuss one by one of all these aquatic plants. Before that, we will just check our knowledge what we have studied in the previous pages of this chapter. So, natural home of a plant or an animal, what I had told, it is habitat where a plant just naturally grows from its birth. A plant that grows on the mountain, which grows on the mountain, example of a plant which we have to give is the pine. I had already told you there are pine, fir, deodar. So here I have written pine. Trees that shed their leaves in autumn. The name of the trees which shed their leaves into the autumn. These are known as deciduous trees. An evergreen tree. An example of an evergreen tree. It is mango. Another example can be neem. Another examples are there. What I had filled here mango. Plants with breathing roots in marshes. I had told you just before that what the name of the plants with the breathing roots in marshes. These are known as mangroves. So this is your knowledge check. Learn it and just write it in your homework copy. Now we will discuss about the floating plants. What are the floating plants? Plants that float on water are called floating plants, which have the capacity to float on water. Here are some features of the such plants. What are the features of these floating plants? They have thick, light, spongy stems filled with air so that they can float. In their stems, this is an example of the floating plant. Its name is water hyacinth. The characteristic of the leaves of this plant is that its leaves are very much spongy. They are filled with air so that they have the capacity they can float on the water. They do not have fixed roots. They do not have fixed roots. Fixed roots are that which are found mostly in the terrestrial plants, which have the capacity to fix their roots into the soil. Their roots hang loosely in the water. They just float on the surface of the water, so their roots hang on the water. They have stomata on the upper side of the leaves. Downside of the leaf, they don't have the stomata. The plants such as mango, fir, deodar, neem, these plants have stomata on the underside of the leaf. But in this plant, floating plant, the leaf stomata is found on the upper side of the leaves. Examples of the floating plants is that water hyacinth and duckweed. These are the two examples of the water plants. Now let's discuss about the fixed plants. What are the fixed plants? Plants that have their roots fixed to the bottom of the pond are called as fixed plants. Fixed plants, there are two. I had already told you these are also part of aquatic plant. First one was for floating plant. Example was water hyacinth. But in that the roots were not fixed on the surface of the pond. But in this fixed plant, the roots of the plant is fixed on the bottom of the water resource, whether it is a pond or a river. So these are known as fixed plants. Here are some features of such plants. There is an example of the fixed plant is given. This is lotus. You must have seen lotus into the any kind of stream, any kind of pond near your house. So this plant have the fixed root. These plants have long, thin and flexible hollow stems that can sway up with the flow of the water and are not torn by its force. These plants, their stems are very much long, thin and flexible, so they can sway, means they can move with the flow of water and will not be torn into two pieces by the force of the water. They have flat, broad leaves so they can float on the water. Their leaves are also very much broad and flat so they can float on the water. They have a waxy coating on their leaves. This prevents them from rotting, means if you just try to put any kind of plant into the water, after some time it will rot. It will death and decay. But the quality of and the quality and the main characteristic of these fixed plants are that they are found into the water. But aquatic plants, mostly the aquatic plant, they have the waxy coating on their leaves so they cannot rot. This stop them from rotting. These plants absorb nutrients from the soil through their roots from the bottom of the pond. Their roots are fixed on the bottom of the pond, so they absorb the nutrients from the roots. Lotus and water lily are fixed plants. These are the two examples of the fixed plants. Underwater plants. Now we will discuss about the underwater. The water are called underwater plants. The plants that grow under the water, not above the water, but under the water are known as underwater plants. Here are some features of such plants. What are the features of such plants? One is there. First is given. These plants grow completely under the water surface. They are not found on the above the water surface. They are found under the water surface. They have thin, narrow leaves and flexible stem. Their leaves are very much thin, narrow, and stems are also flexible. They do not have stomata on their leaves and hence absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen directly through their surface. They get their nutrients directly from the soil in the water bed through the roots. From where do they get their nutrients? They get their nutrients from the water bed, from the soil which is found under the water surface. Tape grass, pondweed and hydrilla are underwater aquatic plants. These are the examples of the underwater plants. Example is that pondweed, tape grass and hydrilla. These are the examples of the emergent plants. What are the emergent plants? Emergent plants are water plants that have their roots in the water bed but their leaves and stems extend above the water surface. Emergent plants, these are the mixed variety of the floating plants and the fixed plants. Their roots are on the water but their leaves and stems are above the water surface. Example is bulrush, cattail and arrowhead are emergent plants. This is your figure of the bulrush. This is an example of the emergent plant. Now unusual plants. Now we will talk about the unusual plants. What are the unusual plants? First is that the non-green plants. Non-green plants, what are non-green plants? The plants that do not have chlorophyll and cannot make their own food are called as non-green plants. Non-green plants which can't make their food and they also do not have chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? I had already told you that chlorophyll is a green pigment which helps the plants to make its food, which is found into the leaves. Coral root and Indian pipe are some examples of non-green plants. Here you use figure of Indian pipe is given. You can see that it is white in color and it does not have chlorophyll, which makes the plant green in color. So this is your non-green plant. So saprophytic plants are the plants which can't make their own food and they just absorb their nutrients from the dead plants or animals. These are called as saprophytic plants. Mushroom and fungi live on other dead plants. So these are the example of the saprophytic plants. This is your figure of the mushroom, which is a saprophytic plant. Now this was your non-green plants and the saprophytic plants. Now we will discuss about the parasitic plants or epiphytes. What are the parasitic plants? Some plants cannot make their own food. These plants grow and feed on other plants for nutrition and are thus called as parasitic plants. They can't make their own food, so they depend totally on the other plant for their nutrition. These are known as parasitic plants. Dodder and mistletoe are the examples of the parasitic plants. This is your dodder, which is an example of the parasitic plant. Now, carnivorous plants. Just like the carnivorous animals, there are also carnivorous plants. Plants that trap and digest insects to survive in areas with little nutrients are called as carnivorous plants. The plants which just eat the other animals and the other small insects to survive, to found their nutrition, are known as carnivorous plants. Example is that Venus flytrap, pitcher plant, sundew plant. They trap the other insects and smaller insects into their special leaves. The leaves digest them in order to get the extra nutrients for their growth. So this is your figure of Venus flytrap. This is an insectivorous plant which just gets its nutrients from the other smaller insects, other smaller housefly. So this was your chapter number 2 completed. Now this is your homework. These are some of the keywords are being given here: habitat, adaptation, terrestrial plants, deciduous trees, evergreen trees, aquatic plants and emergent plants. Learn them and write in your homework copy. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Learn all these things and in the next video we will talk about the exercises. Thank you.